this morning, sun's a bit hazy, checking the forecast, things looking crazy. A storm on the horizon, the pressure is low, gotta get moving, put on a show. The news is all buzzing, state of alert, but we've got a plan, we're ready to work. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. See a little fire or a rising flood, we're a well-oiled machine, we're running in the mud. From the city hall meetings to the rescue teams, turning worst case scenarios into hopeful dreams. We're training the people, stocking the gear, we're the team you can count on when trouble is near. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. It's more than a job, it's a calling, you see, prepared for the present and what's yet to be. Every second counts, we're ready to react for our communities, we're making an impact. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. Yeah, we're picking you up, we're ready to go. EMA, let's get this show on the road.
Let's get this show on the road, guys. Let's go ahead and kick this can. Welcome to Emergency Management Associates, my friends. My name's Ron Tyler. We're here on the air for you, right here, coming to you directly from, guess where? The Area Command, 392 miles west of Kitty Hawk Beach, North Carolina. That's where we're at. We're here with a complete report about our day's activities. I'm first going to spend just a few minutes talking about what happened in Venezuela. I'm going to show you what happened in Venezuela, guys. I'm only going to be here for a very few minutes, but I want to show you what happened. Okay? Last night, before we got off the air, there was a 7.2 major earthquake. As it turns out, it was a foreshock of a bigger thing to come. 42 seconds later, there was a 7.5 earthquake. Came out as a 7.6. They downgraded to a 7.5. Earlier this morning, I gave you an input of exactly what my thoughts were about that earthquake. It was a much larger earthquake than they're saying it is. Okay, came out as a 7.6. They came down to a 7.5 earthquake. I showed you this morning via data, showing you exactly what it was. It was an 8.4 earthquake, a major 8.4, not a 7.5, but an 8.4 major earthquake. That's what it really was. Now, there's a lot of damage out there, quite a bit of damage all over the place. I'm going to show you what has happened here. Okay, a lot of damage, guys, just as this picture portrays it to be. Now, guys, we have a lot more than that. A lot more than that. I want to show you what happened. Want to show you exactly what happened. Give me a second. I thought I had everything geared up. I guess I don't. Give me just a second here.
I was about to call a roofing company just to figure out what this might cost. Wait, you're still doing that?
Okay,
Have you
sorry
not
about
seen
that,
this new
guys.
roofing calculator? No, what is that? It's way easier. You just go on their site, type.
I'm sorry, guys. My bad. Okay, I couldn't shut that ad off for a second. I shut it off now. Okay, want to show you what happened. This is important.
Stating, Christy, Eric, the latest update for the death toll, 164 people dead and nearly 1,000 injured. But those numbers could go up quickly as this day goes on with the search and rescue efforts still underway. The search for survivors is on in Venezuela after back-to-back earthquakes Wednesday evening. A 7.5 magnitude quake striking just 39 seconds after a 7.2 magnitude foreshock, causing countless buildings to collapse.
It's not the shaking that kills people, it's buildings that kill people, and it's really the collapse of those buildings that can lead to the catastrophic loss of life.
Because it was a public holiday, many citizens were off work and at home when the country's most powerful earthquake in more than a century hit. And as emergency crews now try to sort through the rubble to rescue those still trapped, the U.S. Geological Survey estimates thousands of people could be killed by the quakes because of how and where they hit.
In this case, it was a very shallow earthquake. It occurred close to people. So, it's very worrying, and we expect it to be very damaging. I think it's going to take days to weeks to really understand the extent of this damage.
I leaned out onto the balcony screaming, "We're trapped, we need help."
In the aftermath, it was chaos. Venezuela's main airport covered in rubble, and thousands in Caracas flooded the streets, the U.S. now vowing to help.
They have much of collapsed buildings, and so they'll need a lot of help in terms of digging through that. The airport there is badly damaged, so we'll have to rely on the Department of War to deploy assets there. And then we're also helping them with some overhead imagery, especially in coastal areas where they don't have full visibility over what the damage has been and what the impact has been.
And several European nations are also deploying specialist first responders to aid in those rescue efforts. Meantime, most homes there are still without drinking water. Internet signal is weak, so it's hard to communicate with loved ones to see if they're okay. And gas services were interrupted to prevent leaks and possible explosions yesterday. So still a long road to recovery here. Back to you.
Okay, it's going to be a big deal, guys. It's going to be weeks to months before this situation is fixed, before we get any good ideas of exactly what happened last night during both those quakes. Both those quakes were major earthquakes. Anything over a 7.0 is a major earthquake. I want to make that clear. Anything over a 7.0 is a major earthquake. We had one 7.2 foreshock, and that's when 42 seconds later, we had another major earthquake, at least a 7.6 to an 8.4. 7.6 to an 8.4, guys. If you wanted clarification on that, go back to our program from this morning. I detailed all my assessments from data for USGS. Again, they downgrade these quakes so they don't want to make sure, that nobody has a good idea what happened. I've detailed that information on this earlier program today. Now, I want to talk about wildfires, and then I want to delve into a couple politics just briefly. Just very briefly, guys. Okay? Want to talk about wildfires. Wildfire is a big deal, a huge deal, very huge deal. I want to play this short video from wildfire in Utah from several days ago. I think it's 2 or 3 days ago in Utah. Okay, let's play this for you.
The biggest of 11 wildfires across the state, fueled by high winds, heat, and dry conditions, burning more than 22,000 acres southwest of Provo. The flames erupting Friday, growing rapidly over the weekend as firefighters struggled to contain it.
It's just real sad. They rode and off-roaded in these mountains and a lot of memories, and they're all pretty much just gone, burned up.
The flames bearing down on the town of Eureka, firefighters working to protect threatened homes.
That's way closer than anybody wants it to be. We're all packed up, ready to go.
Officials say the fire was human-caused, but no further details have been shared. About an hour west of Salt Lake City, the Hastings fire growing to 6,000 acres.
It doesn't take much for those winds to carry that fire and those embers through the dry fuels.
And the Bonneville fire burning nearly 500 acres above hospitals and the University of Utah, where a shelter in place was issued. It has since been lifted and a safety notice remains.
Now, Utah officials are warning people to definitely stay inside, especially if you are an elderly or have any lung conditions, because this could be a major concern for people. Of course, the air quality there, a major issue right now. Robin?
It certainly is. And Melissa, toxic air currently affecting parts of Los Angeles as well?
Exactly, Robin. There are currently unhealthy air quality in parts of Los Angeles, and all of this is due to this massive warehouse fire that is burning. It has been smoldering for days now, and now a state of emergency has been declared. We can see those smoke and plumes from miles and miles away. There are air quality alerts issued, and now there are LA officials handing out masks and air purifiers to people, because we are talking about 85 million pounds of food that is decaying and burning. And Michael, officials say that this could possibly burn for weeks.
Wow. All right. Melissa, thank you for bringing.
Okay, that's in Los Angeles. And guess what? That fire is still going. That fire is still smoldering in Los Angeles County right now. Unreal. This has been going on for a week now in Los Angeles. It's not the only place where we have fire. Wildland fires, okay? Right now I want to talk about wildland fires. Lots of fire, okay? Wildfire activity is gradually escalating across multiple geographic areas. Yesterday, June 24th, 86 new fires were reported nationwide, including 6 new large fires. Currently, 37 large fires are uncontained. 37 large fires are uncontained, with more than 6,700 personnel assigned to incidents across the country, including 4 complex incident management teams. I'm part of an incident management team. Okay, incident management teams on the scene at the fires. So far this year, 35,118 fires have burned more than 2.9 million acres nationwide. Let me repeat that. That's a high number. 35,118 fires have burned more than 2.9 million acres nationwide, exceeding a 10-year average for both fires and acres burned to date. Okay, exceeding the 10-year average for both fires and acres burned. The largest fire currently in the nation is a Cottonwood fire near Beaver, Utah, central Utah, at 61,137 acres this morning. 61,137 acres this morning. The assigned complex incident management team reports extreme fire behavior, and evacuations are all in effect at this point in time today. Now, if you know you live in a fire-prone area, there are several steps you can take to prepare for the scary situation of a threat from your community. Work with your neighbors. First thing you need to do is work with your neighbors. Keep streets and roads clear so fire engines can easily maneuver and residents can evacuate swiftly if needed. That's number 1. Number 2, make sure fire hydrants are visible and accessible. Don't be parking anywhere near a fire hydrant. If you need to park, Park at least 15 to 20 feet on either side of the fire hydrant. Make sure that fire hydrant is completely accessible to the public, to fire departments. Okay? Most laws say you have to be at least 20 feet from a fire hydrant to park. Don't be parking on top of fire hydrants. Don't do it. Third, have an evacuation plan for your household, including what essential items you'll need to take with you and where you're also going to meet once you evacuate your house or your business. Make sure you take the things you're going to need. Make sure you have a place to meet after you evacuate. Preparedness for fire emergencies is good citizenship. Preparedness for fire emergencies is good citizenship. And it can also give you some peace of mind to be able to have when everybody else is losing theirs. Remember that. Remember that. Those are fire evacuation readiness tips. Okay? Let's talk about weather for a minute. Hurricane Heather and Renee Sevy's here in the chat. They talk about weather all the time. In this case, I'm going to be talking about fire weather. An increase in sunshine and instability today will allow for more numerous thunderstorms to develop across the Four Corners area between Utah, Arizona, Nevada, and New Mexico, Four Corners region, and Northern Rockies. It's going to come with a mix of wet and dry thunderstorms west of the divide and wetter storms to the east. Lightning ignited fires will most likely be occurring in northern Arizona and New Mexico into southern and eastern Utah, southern and western Colorado, and far southern Wyoming. Let me repeat that. We have a lot of people live there. That's why I'm going to repeat this. Okay? Lightning ignited fires will most likely be across northern Arizona, New Mexico, in the southern and eastern Utah, southern and western Colorado, and far southern Wyoming. Gusty and erratic outflow winds will accompany this activity. Gusty, erratic outflow winds will accompany this activity. That means these straight line winds blow along the surface of the earth. We've seen straight line winds, I know I have, in Colorado and Utah. Straight line winds going like this, upwards of 50 to 85 miles per hour. Straight line winds. They can take empty garbage cans or even full garbage cans and spread the garbage all over your neighborhood and end up having you to chase garbage cans that you own for miles. Gusty and erratic outflow winds will accompany this activity. Much drier air will begin to return further west, extending from Southern California through the Western Great Basin and the interior Northwest. Elevated fire weather with relative humidity below 15%. That means red flag areas, guys. Red flag means high winds, gusty winds, and lower humidity that can cause fires. Dry air and gusty winds can cause fires, guys. Okay, red flag. Red flag patrols for law enforcement and fire department are on hand all this weekend. For now through at least the weekend, possibly longer. Those red flag patrols are going to be looking for people flicking cigarettes out the window, parking alongside grassy areas alongside the roadways. Don't do it. Don't do it. Also, if you think you're going to start a wildfire, don't. We're going to be hunting for you. We'll be running patrols all around our nation's highways looking for people starting wildfires. If you get caught, you'll spend the rest of your life in jail. Don't do it. You'll also be liable for the cost of putting out the fire. And if someone loses their life or loses their property in the fire, you're also going to be liable for those damages as well. Don't do it. Please don't do it. Okay? The strongest gusts of wind will occur along the Cascade gaps as cooler air begins to arrive in the Pacific Northwest later today and early tomorrow. Okay? Strong gusty winds will occur along the Cascade Gap in the Cascade Mountain Range, Washington and Oregon, as cooler air begins to arrive in the Pacific Northwest late this week. Alaska is also up in the northern west of the United States. Alaska will continue to see warm temperatures and scattered thunderstorms over the western northern area of the interior of Alaska, while overall drier conditions will persist further to the south area of Alaska. Lightning holdovers could also emerge there, across the southeast from Florida to the coastal Carolinas. Lightning holdovers, guys. Presently here where I live in Morganton, North Carolina, at the area command that I've established, lightning is going to be here as well. We fully expect it. It's happened here before, it's going to happen again. We had lightning the other night. Now let me give you some statistics here. Let me see if I got these statistics for you here. I think I might. Right here. These are today's statistics for fire. Number of new large fires or emergency response, 6. 6 new large wildfires or emergency response to those are 6. 6 states are currently reporting large fires. 6 states are currently reporting large fires. Remember that. Total number of large fires, 37. Total number of large fires, 37. Alaska, 7. Florida, 7. Arizona, 5. Utah, 5. Washington, 3. Nevada, 2. New Mexico, 2. Colorado, 2. North Carolina, 1 wildfire. Idaho, 1 wildfire. Oregon, 1 wildfire. And 1 in Wyoming. 1 wildfire in Wyoming, guys. We have more information here as well. Okay, let's talk about year-to-date statistics here. I'm not going to cover anything but 2026 here. From January 1st, 2026 to today, we've had 35,118 wildfires, a total of 2,931,792 acres burned. 2,931,792 fires burned, acres burned this year. Last year it was 33,411 fires, up from last year. The year before that, they had 20,000 fires, up 13,000 from the previous year. Unreal, guys. Let's slow this down. Let's slow this down. Now, I'm going to show you the 10-year average today. From 2016 to 2025. I'm going to be talking about fires. I'm going to be talking about acres. Alaska's had 7 fires. We've had 8,623 acres burned. No new fires. Those have been contained. Those fires have been contained. Arizona. Arizona's had 5 fires, 16,480 acres burned, and only 1 new fire contained. Colorado. 2 fires, 1,627 acres burned, and 1 new fire contained. Florida. 7 fires, 23,999 acres burned, and 2 new fires contained. 2 new fires contained. We're fortunate for that. We're fortunate that's happened. Okay? Now, as we go through the fire season, I'll be reporting about this again. I want to make sure everybody's aware of it. Let's go over to North Carolina. 1 new wildfire in North Carolina, 662 acres burned, no new fires, everything's been contained. Oregon, 1 fire, 6,052 acres burned, no new fires, contained. Washington State, 3 fires, 15,320 acres burned, No new fires contained again. Wyoming, one fire, 650 acres burned, one new fire contained. We're very fortunate about that, guys. We're very fortunate. These fires have been contained. Do we have any comments about these fires? Any comments about these fires, guys? Hurricane Heather Renee Sevier is here in the chat, putting up tornado watches and tornado warnings, thunderstorm watches and thunderstorm warnings as well as here. Tornado watch issued for Texas, Oklahoma, and southern Kansas until 10 p.m. Central Daylight Time tonight. Till 10 p.m. Central Daylight Time tonight. That's 6 hours from now. 6 hours from now. Any comments about fires or even tornadoes, watches, warnings? Anything here, guys? My buddy Alan Newton is here. Fun fact. Cascadia doesn't care if you're prepared or not. It doesn't. It doesn't. Now, guys, normally on Thursday we talk about Cascadia earthquake, the Cascadia megathrust earthquake. Guess what? That earthquake is going to be at least a 9.0, 10.0 earthquake. Again, as Alan said, it doesn't care whether you're new to it, doesn't care whether you're brand new, newborn baby, doesn't matter whether you're a teenager or an adult. It doesn't care whether you're prepared or not. It's going to happen. Just like wildfires, we need to be prepared for what has happened. I keep talking about being prepared on this channel. I talk about it all the time, possibly even too frequently, but I don't think so. I think I am the only channel that talks about hazards. I'm the only channel that talks about all kinds of different situations that are going to happen to all of us. I'm the only channel that talks about emergency preparedness altogether. I talk about preparedness all the time. We need to be prepared, guys. We need to be prepared. Those people over in Venezuela were not prepared at all. There may have been a handful that are prepared, but most of them were not prepared at all. As you saw in the earlier videos, people that survived that quake are being carried out on stretchers and such out of the rubble. There's millions, possibly millions. There's possibly thousands more that are buried under the rubble. Hopefully they'll be found within the next 48 hours. After that, gets to be slim pickings. Okay, most people that will survive an earthquake of that magnitude survive maybe 2 to 3 days. After that, it gets to be slim pickings. I hope they find everybody surviving, but I doubt it. Doubt that's going to happen. As of this morning, there were 164 people found unalive and nearly 1,000 people injured. 1,000 people injured. The statistics point that there will be tens of thousands of people injured and nearly 10,000 people found unalive after this earthquake. Fact. Are people prepared? No, they're not. They're not at all prepared one whit. We're here to tell you need to be prepared for whatever happens, no matter what. You need to be prepared for whatever happens. That's a fact. Does anybody have any questions for me? I'm happy to take any questions from anybody about anything. Okay? We've talked about a lot of different emergencies and disasters that happened during the past 24 hours that are going to continue to happen. It will absolutely continue. It's not going to stop. I fully expect to have another very major earthquake, upwards of an 8.0 for the next 2 to 3 days. An 8.0 earthquake to happen within the next 2 to 3 days. I fully expect that to happen. Okay? Running with Scissors is here in our chat. Welcome to our program. Now, guys, I also want you to be able to subscribe to this program. In subscribing to this program, you're setting yourself up to be notified when we come on the air, Subscribing to this program will also give you the information you need in case of any kind of emergency, including earthquakes. We talked about all kinds of disasters. We talked about earthquakes. We talked about fires. We talked about derailed trains that have dangerous chemicals on board that start fires as well, that spread all kinds of nasty chemicals and smoke up into the air and cause people to have problems breathing or even keeping people alive. We talked about shootings. We talked about oil refineries blowing up. Talk about all kinds of emergencies, fires, disasters of all kinds. We talk about here on the program. Oil refinery fires, all kinds of different fires around the world. We talk about hurricanes. We talk about weather, all kinds of weather, including winter weather, stormy weather. We talk about tornadoes as well. We want you to be prepared. Up and above everything, we want you to be prepared. That's why Emergency Management Associates is on the air. We've been doing this now for 7 years. 7 years, guys. We're not going to be stopping unless YouTube takes us down again. I had another YouTube channel here 7+ years ago. YouTube took it down after 4 years with 25,000 people watching this program, 25,000 people subscribing. YouTube took it down because I talked about what is commonly known as COVID. They took my channel down because I talked the opposite of what the administration was talking about. The administration was talking about, oh, people are going to die. All of you are going to die. I said, no, you're not. No, you're not. COVID is not as bad as they painted it. Yes, people died. Millions of people died around the world. But the administration would have you to believe everybody had to be vaccinated. That was a lie. That was an out-and-out bare-faced lie. And their vaccine was made by Bill Gates. Bill Gates invented the vaccine. Bill Gates and Dr. Fauci organized and appropriated the disease from China. Yeah, Bill Gates and Mr. Fauci paid the Wuhan Institute to develop COVID. And because people were in China during the new year, they came back to their own countries and spread the disease worldwide. That's how that went down. And Dr. Fauci and Bill Gates made millions of dollars. Now, Dr. Fauci is under indictment right now. Fauci's under indictment for what he did. Bill Gates should be also in prison. Bill Gates should be in prison for what he did. Now, guess what? Because I said those things 4 years ago, this channel was taken down. I came back on there within a matter of days, and I'm back here now with over 7,189 subscribers. We want to get back up to 25,000 again. 3.5 years later, we're still on the air now with 7,189 subscribers. Please subscribe to this channel, guys. We're here to tell you the truth. We're not going to lie to you. We're not going to embellish anything. We're going to tell you the truth of what's going on. Renee Steffi has issued a tornado warning from the National Weather Service for New Concord, Cambridge, Ohio, until 6 p.m. tonight, Eastern Time, which is another 45 minutes from now. Tornado warning, New Concord, Cambridge, Ohio, till 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time tonight. Any comments or questions about anything we talked about? I want to make sure you understand everything going on. It's important. It's very important. Okay? I can't emphasize that enough. We need to understand what's going on around us. Everybody. Our sons, our daughters, our brothers and sisters, our parents, and everybody around us, including our neighbors and friends. Everybody needs to understand what's going on around us because we're going to save each other's lives. We're going to save each other's lives, guys. Any questions? Any questions? Been on 34 minutes. I didn't expect to be on very long today because we're on for about 40 minutes earlier today. Before I leave today, I want to leave you with a thought here, a positive thought. During our programs, we talk about a lot of dark things, including people losing their lives, earthquakes causing people's loss of life. As Jesus Christ told us in Luke chapter 12, I want to start over here with verse 33. Sell that ye have and give alms. Provide yourselves bags which wax not old, a treasure in the heavens that faileth not, where no thief approacheth, neither moth corrupteth. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Do that, guys. Do that. Let your loins be girded about, and your lights burning. And you yourselves like unto men that wait for their Lord, when he will return from the wedding, that when he cometh and knocketh, they open unto him immediately. Okay, let's be ready for that time. Let's be ready for that time. Now, Honey Peck just signed up for EMA 1 as a member. You guys can be members of this program as well. At least once a week, we're going to try to be on the air for a members only meeting. We did it last week. Because what happened last night, I came on the air earlier today as a full-blown show. If I have the chance, possibly tomorrow morning, I'll do a members only meeting then. If you want to be a member, right below this video here, in the top of our program description, it says join. Go and follow that link to join up as a member of our program. Heidi Pedrick just joined as a EMA 1. EMA 1. For as little as $1.99 a month, you can join up as a member of our EMA program. Please do that. The more EMA members we have, the better. Yes, during members only programs, we talk about a lot of things, including how to improve this program. Sometimes we may also give you members information the other people may not get. So be advised of that. Please come here and join our program. We'd love to have you. Jose Estrada says, my kitchen had some slight shaking early morning, north and south today, June 25th. I didn't feel a shake. I was in the living room, and my cat felt the quake rock back and forth from chill to turkey, winter to spring. Jose, what part of the country do you live in? What part of the country do you live in, guy? By the way, guys, over in Venezuela, they now have over 100 aftershocks. Over 100 aftershocks in Venezuela as a result of those 7.2 and 8.4 earthquakes that hit last night in Venezuela. We've had earthquakes shaking around this country and all over the world, guys. Fortunately for today, the biggest earthquakes were last night in Venezuela. Yes, we've had some large earthquakes around the globe, but those were not anywhere near people are living. Those are usually out to sea. Out to sea. Usually earthquakes that are out to sea have nothing to do with anybody on land, except if those are major, major earthquakes and they occur near land, then people have to worry for a possible tsunami. If an earthquake is 6.5 or larger, 6.5 or larger, you may have to worry about a tsunami. For right now, I don't even want to think about that. It could happen tonight, it could happen tomorrow. It could happen anytime. Okay? Jose Estrada, what part of the country do you live in? Okay, guys, I've opened up the USGS map here. It's centered over here to the Philippines where we had a major earthquake last week. USGS is only reporting one earthquake south of Mindanao, Philippines. Mindanao, Philippines is this island in the southern Philippines that you see here. The largest island in the Philippines area, Philippines region. But guess what? Guess what? It's not the only place where we have earthquakes. We have earthquakes everywhere, literally. USGS is only showing one earthquake here, south of Mindanao, Philippines. This earthquake is a 4.9 5.0 earthquake. 4.9 5.0 earthquake out here, right here. This is far enough away from these islands here. This earthquake may not have had any reflection on these islands where people live. Okay? This is 24 kilometers west-southwest of Sarangani, Philippines. Sarangani, Philippines is this cigar-shaped island right here. Right here. This is the Filipino word for eggs. Filipino word for chicken egg. Okay? I don't think anybody even lives on this island here. This island is mostly volcanic. Mostly volcanic. Okay? But again, this is a 4.9 5.0 large earthquake here, far enough away from any populated area. Nobody was even affected by this earthquake. It was out in the Philippine Sea here. Actually, no, it was in the Celebes Sea of Indonesia. It was in the northern Celebes Sea here in Indonesia. Let's scroll out here. Look at this, guys. USGS is not showing any earthquakes here in Indonesia at all. There are 85 earthquakes here in Indonesia. USGS doesn't show any of them. None of them. Yet USGS is saying there are 213 earthquakes worldwide. That's bullcrap. That's bullcrap. Right now, there are over 100 earthquakes over in Venezuela. 100 aftershocks in Venezuela. That cannot be possibly true to have only 213 earthquakes here worldwide. They're showing one earthquake over here in Papua New Guinea. One earthquake over here in Papua New Guinea right here. This is a 5.5 large earthquake. 5.5 large earthquake on the island here in Papua New Guinea. 73 kilometers east of Kokopo, Papua New Guinea. 75 kilometers east of Kokopo, Papua New Guinea. On land here. On land. Yes, there are villages here. There are villages here, guys. There are no large populations whatsoever, though. When an earthquake of this magnitude hits here, it echoes all over the rock strata here, affects people here. People here in Papua New Guinea don't make much more than $300 a year. They make less than $300, maybe make as much as $300 a year. When an earthquake like this hits, they live in cardboard and mud and wood shacks with only flies over their houses. Okay? Tarpaulins over their houses. That's how they live. They live very meagerly. When an earthquake of this magnitude happens, their life is destroyed. Their life is destroyed, especially near the epicenter of this earthquake. Okay? Let's scroll out here. Let's go over here to Japan. Over here to Japan. Near the coastline of Japan, we have a 6.9 earthquake that happened here. Okay, a 6.9 magnitude happened here last night. We talked about this earthquake last night. 6.9 magnitude earthquake. Yes, the people here in Japan were affected by it. It's only 30 kilometers off the shore of Kuji, Japan. They're only showing 3 earthquakes here. There are about 75 aftershocks. Say 5 aftershocks, USGS is only reporting 3. This is a 4.7 earthquake here, 4.8 earthquake here, and right here is a 4.2 earthquake. 4.2 earthquake, guys. 6.9 earthquake happened here yesterday evening. The 4-pointers here, this 4.7, the 4.8, and the 4.7 here, aftershocks far enough off the coastline here, the Pacific Ocean waters absorbed the shock waves from this quake. This 6.9 hit offshore. It had some rocking felt over here on Japan, on Honshu, Japan here, right in this area. These people may have felt some part of this quake. Not a big deal. Nobody injured, and so far no reports of damage because this earthquake was offshore. This earthquake has struck onshore, then they would have a lot of problems today. They got very lucky. Over here on Hokkaido, Japan, the northernmost island, Japan. This is the 4.4 earthquake here. 4.4 moderate earthquake here. Yes, there's some shaking here. Some shaking. On shore here, right here. On the shoreline. Some shaking here. 22 miles off land though. 22, actually not miles, 22 kilometers off land. That is, guys, about 10 miles off the coast. 10 miles off the coastline. Okay? What's going out here? We have an earthquake over here in the Persian Gulf area here. Actually, it's not the Persian Gulf, it's the Gulf of Oman. This is the Gulf of Oman here. This earthquake is a 5.1 large earthquake. 152 kilometers north of Kulula, Somalia. Kulula, Somalia. Somalia is right here. Somalia is very much an impoverished area. People who live as nomads here, don't have much money at all. Very much money at all. Their biggest trade is pirating. Launching small boats to go up and pirate coastal ships, people running tourist ships. People pay a lot of money to go up and around Middle East here. They pirate the boat, strip people of cash and weapons, and sometimes unalive people. That's how they make their money. Right here is a 5.1 large earthquake in the Gulf of Oman. Okay? USGS not showing any other earthquakes here in Europe at all. Nothing. Not a darn thing. Nothing in the Middle East, nothing in Europe at all. There are earthquakes here. There are plenty of earthquakes here, guys. Lots and lots of earthquakes here. Let me go up here to a popular place I like to show people. Right here. The eastern border of Turkey and Syria here. Just 3 years ago, February 23rd, 3 years ago, we had a 9.0, 10.0 earthquake that hit here. Now, guys, USGS is not showing any earthquakes at all. There are 40 earthquakes here in this Turkey-Syria border area. 40 earthquakes. These are mostly microquakes and tremors. Yes, I believe there's one 3.3 earthquake that I saw earlier. And the rest are tremors and microquakes. That's all. They got lucky. But all the earthquakes here are aftershocks from the 9.0, 10.0 earthquake that hit here February 23rd, 2023. Unreal. Not showing any of the earthquakes here. There are all kinds of earthquakes around here in Turkey. Northern Turkey, central Turkey, and southern Turkey, eastern Turkey, and also over here in western Turkey along the ocean line here near the Aegean Sea. All kinds of earthquakes here. USGS not showing one of them. That's sad. All kinds of earthquakes here, and USGS not showing one of them. Only showing 214 earthquakes worldwide. Unreal. Lies, lies, and more lies. Okay? The preeminent seismic agency of the world doesn't tell the truth. All these areas of Europe are having earthquakes. All of them. All of them. Down here south of Crete, Greece, we had another 4.5 earthquake today. South of Crete, Greece right here. Another 4.5 earthquake here today. Going over here into Greece, mainland Greece here, we have 23 earthquakes here today. USGS not showing any of them at all. Over here in Sicily, we have 3 earthquakes here. Southern Italy, we have about 14 earthquakes here. Going over here in north central Italy right here, this area right here, we have a swarm of 24 earthquakes here. 24 earthquakes at least every day, ranging in size from 19 to 30 earthquakes here every day. What does that mean? When we have swarms of earthquakes, when we see swarms of earthquakes anywhere, that means a larger earthquake is incoming. Swarms of earthquakes mean larger earthquakes are coming. So far, because of these swarms over the past 2 years, we've seen 2 large earthquakes here. A 5.0 and a 5.1 earthquake hit here during the last 2 years. Now it's been almost a year. I fully expect to see another large earthquake here in the coming days or months. Right here in north central Italy. Going up here in the Alps Mountains of Europe, we have tremors and minor earthquakes. Tremors and minor earthquakes here. Going up here to France, they're not showing anything at all. Nothing. Minor earthquakes here in France as well. Southern Spain, minor earthquakes down here as well. Okay? We have some tremors up here in Scandinavia. Norway and Sweden. Norway and Sweden, guys. Just for kicks and giggles. Just for kicks and giggles here. I just brought up the EMSC European map here, showing earthquakes. Okay? I'm going to concentrate on Norway and Sweden. Southern Norway here. Let's go over here, Southern Norway. Right here. We have a 1.3 tremor right there. 1.3 tremor right there. Just north there, we have another 1.2 tremor there. There's a 1.2 tremor there. Going just a little bit to the north up here. Right up here. There's a 4.2 moderate earthquake right there. A 4.2 moderate earthquake right there. In the mountainous region of Norway. The mountainous region of Norway right here. Southern mountainous Norway. 4.2 moderate earthquake happened at 7:44 a.m. this morning. 7:44 a.m. this morning. At a depth of 5.1 miles deep. 5.1 miles deep right here. Again, it is a titanic. It is a tectonic plate earthquake. A tectonic plate earthquake. Why do I say that? Let's back this out. See this mountain range that is covering Norway from south to north here? That is the edge of the plate here. Edge of the North Sea plate here. Okay, that's why we had a 4.2 earthquake here. Now, let's go over to Sweden. Let's go over here to Sweden. Let's go over here towards Stockholm area. Towards Stockholm. Östertibble near Stockholm. They call it Västmanland. Västmanland province of Sweden. Right here. Okay? We had a 1.6 tremor right there. 1.6 tremor right there. See where Uppsala is? Just north of Uppsala. Okay? Over here to the east, you see east and south here, you see Stockholm. Right here is Norrtälje. I used to live in Norrtälje here as well, north of Stockholm. Now let's go up to northern Sweden now. Let's go up here to northern Sweden. Right up here. This is called Norrbotten County. Norrbotten County, Sweden. This is the 1.92.0 earthquake here. 1.92.0 earthquake here. Now you guys see a town called Luleå. Luleå, guys. Luleå is north of Umeå, Sweden. I used to live down here in Umeå, Sweden here. Let me try to find it. I used to live here in northern Sweden, a town called Umeå. See where it says Borgvagen, 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 or Borgway. Borgway here. I used to live near there. I used to live there in Umeå. Now back in the day, back in the 70s when I lived there, nobody even talked about earthquakes. Nobody even knew there were earthquakes here. Yes, we're seeing tremors all over the place. Tremors all over the place. But in no way did we ever think that there would be a 4.2 over here in Norway. No way did we ever think we'd have a 4.2 earthquake here in Norway, a moderate earthquake, yet it happened today. Seismic energy is building, guys. Seismic energy is building here. All over the world. All over the world. Again, over here in the Atlantic Ocean. Over here in the Mid-Atlantic Ocean. Mid-Atlantic goes all the way down here to the Antarctic Ridge. The Antarctic Ridge down here. Right there. Antarctic Ridge in the Atlantic Ocean. When we have earthquakes over here in the South Sandwich Islands right here. The South Sandwich Islands right here. That seismic energy travels over here to the Mid-Atlantic. Then the seismic energy travels through the Mid-Atlantic Ocean all the way up here to central Mid-Atlantic here into the North Mid-Atlantic Ocean here. Now, we've talked about this before. I'm going to briefly talk about it right now. Mid-Atlantic plate is expanding. Mid-Atlantic plate is expanding like this. The Atlantic plate is expanding. It's pushing Africa and Europe in an easterly direction. Pushing Africa and Europe in an easterly direction. It's also pushing the North American continent, including Greenland, Canada, and the United States, and also South America and Mexico in a southwesterly direction. That's why we're seeing earthquakes here. Earthquakes in Europe, earthquakes here in the United States and Canada, and also over here in South America. That may have been the reason we have that earthquake here in Venezuela last night. Okay? Now, USPS is not showing anything here on the East Coast of North America. That's a fallacy. That is an out and out lie. That is an out and out lie. Okay? Why do I say that? Over here in Canada, right here, we have an earthquake. La Malbaie, Quebec, Canada. La Malbaie, Quebec, Canada here. We have a 0.21 microquake. 0.21 microquake. Nobody felt it. Nobody can feel microquakes at all. Microquake is even smaller than a tremor. Nobody can feel tremors either. People don't even feel minor earthquakes as well, 2.0, 2.9. This is a microquake here. Nobody felt it. That is a 0.21 microquake in Canada. Caused by the mid-Atlantic plate expansion. USPS is not showing any other earthquakes here in North America at all. Nothing along the coastline of the United States. There are earthquakes here along the coastline of Eastern North America. There are earthquakes here. If I had it prepared, I would show you earthquakes here in North Carolina. I would show you earthquakes in Virginia to the north. Earthquakes here in Georgia. Over here in Alabama. Earthquakes here in Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky. Going over here into Illinois, Ohio, and Indiana, caused by the New Madrid Fault. If I had prepared the information, we would have shown you earthquakes here in Missouri. They're having them. Having them all over the place, guys. All over the place. Arkansas as well. Mississippi and Louisiana as well. All up and down the New Madrid Fault. Earthquakes. Today, every day of every week. Earthquakes on the New Madrid Fault. As I've been telling you for weeks now, I don't believe we're going to go much more than maybe a year and a half total before we have major earthquake on the New Madrid Fault. Be prepared, guys. It's going to happen here. Yes, we have a lot of EMA family members here on the New Madrid Fault. We have several million people live here. 7 million people live here. It is estimated we're going to have over 1,000 people that will be unalive because of the New Madrid earthquake. Or 1,000 plus more that will be injured as a result of that same earthquake. Fires, pestilence up and down the New Madrid Fault. Fact, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Now, you guys over here in Oklahoma, you guys are seeing earthquakes today. They're happening. USGS is not reporting any at all. Nothing. Not a one. The European map is not showing anything either. The Europeans are not showing anything there either. They're showing one earthquake over here in Colorado. Weston, WESTON, Colorado. A 3.1 small earthquake there. 3.1 earthquake there. Yes, Jose, tomorrow we're going to talk about what happened with the Cascadia earthquake. You're mentioning the Oregon coast, parts, black sand, dead black trees, real deal, Ashland has suffered rotten egg spot campground, warm water back in 1890. Yes, absolutely dead. Absolutely dead. We're going to talk about the northwestern part of the United States tomorrow, Washington and Oregon. Look at Oregon today. USGS is still not showing earthquakes here. That's a fallacy. There are earthquakes all over Oregon, including at the volcanoes. USGS is not showing. Let's go over here in Washington State. USGS is showing one earthquake here. Niles, Washington, a 1.1 tremor here. That is southeast of Mount Rainier. Southeast of Mount Rainier. They're not showing anything going on in Mount Rainier. That's a fallacy. We have microquakes, we have tremors, and we have minor earthquakes, as well as a 3-point earthquake that hit Mount Rainier last night. USGS not showing anything. They're not showing anything here at Mount Adams, nothing here at Mount St. Helens at all. That's a fallacy. Earthquakes hit here all the time, every day, all the time. USGS is showing one earthquake here at Wana, Washington. W-A-U-N-A, Washington. Wana, Washington. This is a 1.2 tremor. Nobody felt that? It's a tremor. Nobody can feel tremors, guys. Too small. Up here along the peninsula here, this is a 0.9 microquake here. 0.9 microquake, 1.0 tremor here. Near Amanda Park, Washington. Amanda Park, Washington here on the Olympic Peninsula. We have earthquakes here all the time at Amanda Park. We have a volcano right there. It's no small wonder we have earthquakes here. USGS not showing all the earthquakes at all. Up here in northwestern Washington, all kinds of earthquakes here as well. USGS not showing one of them. That's a lie. That is an absolute out-and-out lie. Okay? They don't want to show anything because they don't want to take responsibility for squat. Not nothing. Any questions, guys? Jesus Saves is here in the chat. Is there any estimate of the percentage of earthquakes from fracking as opposed to what would happen anyways? Guys, let me tell you this. That's a good question. I appreciate you asking. Now, guys, when we have fracking earthquakes are going to happen here in Washington, Oregon, and California. Yes, there are fracking operations here as well. Okay? Most of the earthquakes from fracking happen here in Texas and Oklahoma. Fracking earthquakes can occur anywhere. Fracking earthquakes happen when we're trying to get oil or gas from the ground, from the crust of the earth. Fracking earthquakes can occur when we try to dig in or drill into the upper magma chambers of the volcanoes to harvest steam to power turbines to generate electricity as well. That's happening in California. It's happening in Washington, Oregon. It's happening in northern Mexico as well. Happening everywhere. How's that happen? With oil and gas and also volcanic steam. We drill into the crust of the earth. Anytime we have seismic energy coming off the Pacific plate, which it does, we have seismic energy coming off the Pacific plate here to California. That seismic energy travels east through California, Arizona, New Mexico, and over here into Texas, and also Oklahoma. When that seismic energy finds a man-made earthquake fault, a drill point, where men have drilled into the crust of the earth to obtain oil and gas, the seismic energy will fracture the rock inside that man-made earthquake fault, the drill point. The seismic energy fractures the rock in the drill point, causing earth movement. Something else there as well. Whenever we pump in treated sewage water, which we're doing, whenever we pump in water of any kind into that same well to harvest oil and gas, even into the volcanic chamber to produce steam, that in itself will also cause fracking earthquakes. That in and of itself will also cause fracking earthquakes. Now, a relationship between fracking earthquakes and what's going on? Absolutely the case. Absolutely the case. In fact, when it comes to fracking earthquakes, 90%, I'm going to say 90% of the fracking earthquakes are just that, fracking quakes, caused by us drilling into the crust of the earth to obtain steam and oil from the ground. Fracking earthquakes. 90% of the earthquakes are fracking quakes. Fracking quakes here in Texas, Louisiana, and Oklahoma. Fracking quakes. Jesus saves, guess what? We're all curious, guys. We all are. But that's what happens when you have fracking quakes. Again, when we are going into the upper magma chambers of the volcano, for example, this volcano right here, the Salton Butte volcano here. Guys, let me show you this. Right down here, just south of the Salton Butte volcano right here. Guess what we have here? Guess what we have here, guys? Guess what we have here? Right here. This is a station where we have a footprint right here, just north of the turbines here. We have a footprint where men have drilled into the upper magma chambers of the volcano to obtain steam to power turbines here to generate electricity. That's why we have earthquakes here in Southern California, Imperial Valley, Southern California. USGS didn't show anything going on here, but guess what? I can guarantee you guys, right here. See this town called Calipatria? There's a seismograph that is active still. There's a seismograph that is still active still, showing earthquakes here as a result of fracking quakes. Most of it is as a result of fracking earthquakes. But let me tell you this. We also have earthquakes here in the Imperial Valley here because of an earthquake fault. Earthquake fault right here. It runs along the east side of the Salton Sea here. It's called, you guessed it, the San Andreas Fault. Right here, Bombay Beach. The San Andreas Fault goes underneath the Salton Sea here. Goes underneath the Salton Sea and comes out right here, just north of Calipatria. Just north of Calipatria here. Then it makes a southwesterly turn here. Makes a southwesterly turn towards Westmoreland, California. Here in Westmoreland, it takes a more southerly turn here and cuts through the Imperial Valley here. Cuts directly through the Imperial Valley here, goes over here to Brawley, California. San Andreas Fault, guys. San Andreas Fault. Earthquakes here every day, I can guarantee it. I guarantee it, guys. Earthquakes here every day. Every day of every year. USGS is not showing them, but there are earthquakes here. Let's go back to the European map here. Okay, the Europeans are not showing anything here in the Imperial Valley today. There are tons of earthquakes here. Tons of earthquakes here. Now, for kicks and giggles, just for kicks and giggles, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to pull the energy here from, I'm going to pull the seismic energy here from over here in Southern California. I'm going to pull that information for you. I want to show you what's going on. Okay? USGS is not really going to show this. Rarely do they ever show us earthquakes here in Southern California. They just don't. They want everybody to believe that nothing's going on. There's all kinds of information here. All kinds of it, guys. I promise you that. Every day we have earthquakes here. All the time. Literally all the time. Okay? Okay, I just pulled it for the information about Calipatria here. You're going to see a lot of earthquakes. Calipatria typically has anywhere from 75 to 150 earthquakes every day. That's in Calipatria alone, by itself, by its cotton pick itself. Let me show you what is happening today. This is going to blow your mind. This is going to blow your mind, guys. Look at this, guys. These are the earthquakes in Calipatria, California today. Look at that. Last night, close to 50 seismic events here last night. Last night. Detailing from 1500 hours, 3 p.m. Pacific time, yesterday afternoon, until just after midnight. Just after midnight. Now, notice that the majority of the events here end after about 8 p.m. last night, before 8 p.m. last night, from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. last night. That is because the seismologists go back home. They turn down the seismograph. They turn down the seismograph so it doesn't have the opportunity to show anything big at all night long. Doesn't have any opportunity to show anything big at all night long. However, look here. Okay, all we have here from 3 p.m. last night to 8 p.m. or 3 p.m. yesterday afternoon to 8 p.m. last night. All we have here are tremors and minor earthquakes. Minor earthquakes. The red lines on this seismogram indicate computer information. The computer puts the red lines at these earthquakes to get the seismologist's attention. That's the only reason these red lines are here. Okay? All we have here are minor earthquakes and tremors. All of them. All of them are minor tremors and minor earthquakes. 1.0, 1.9 tremors, 2.0, 2.9 minor earthquakes here. However, that changes right here after midnight. Okay? Just after approximately, I'm going to say 12:19 a.m. this morning, after midnight. You see this earthquake here that's got a red line down the middle of it? Just by this earthquake alone, this is a 2.6, 2.7 earthquake. 2.6, 2.7 earthquake right here. Usually we don't see that. Usually we hardly see any information from about 8 p.m. until 7 a.m. in the morning. Now, the seismologists did not turn down the seismograph with this particular case. They didn't turn the seismograph off. Usually they either turn it off or way down. They turn the electronics way down so it doesn't show any information. They did not do that here. Usually they do. Look what happens here after midnight. Look at all these earthquakes all morning long. All morning long. Look at all these earthquakes here. Yes, after midnight we still have earthquakes, tremors mostly, but we also have some minor earthquakes as well. Look at all these minor earthquakes, guys. All these are minor earthquakes. Every one of them. And this goes until approximately 2:15 this afternoon. 2:15 this afternoon. Guys, here in Calipatria, this shows at least 125 earthquakes here. I believe this shows us 125 earthquakes here at Calipatria today. Usually it's between 75 to 150. I believe we probably have close to 125 earthquakes here at Calipatria today, if not more. If not more. That's what happens, guys. That's what happens. Now, given that information for you, given that information, here in the Imperial Valley, Bombay Beach here, Bombay Beach I showed you. Bombay Beach here, guys, every day has 3.0 to 4.5 earthquakes every day, multiple times a day. Multiple times a day, every day. Goes without saying, every day. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen every day, guys. Now, I'm going to zoom in here. This is Bombay Beach. Every day we have numerous earthquakes here, 3.0 to 4.5 earthquakes. Anywhere between 14 to 20, 3.0, 4.5 earthquakes every day. Bombay Beach. USGS doesn't show anything at all. They almost never do. Okay? They almost never do. Let's zoom into another place here in the Imperial Valley here. The incorporated area in the Imperial Valley here. I want to show you towns and cities here. That's Brawley. They do not have a seismograph here in Brawley. However, we have had earthquakes here in Brawley as well. Okay? Let's go a little bit over here to the west here. Okay? This is a small town of Imperial. Imperial might have about 7,000 people live here. Town of Imperial. They used to have a seismograph that was showing earthquakes here, letting everyone see what's going on. Now they've turned it off. They turned it off to the public. Here in the town of Imperial, we always had tremors. Tremors that nobody felt. We showed minor earthquakes as well. And yes, occasionally we had a 3.0, 3.5 earthquake here in the town of Imperial. Usually at least once or twice a week. Okay? Let's go south here to a town called El Centro, California. El Centro. El Centro is a town of about 60,000 people now. 60,000 people live here. Most of these people belong to the Navy. They're military members belonging to the Navy. Why is that? Because out here is El Centro Naval Air Station. El Centro Naval Air Station. Guys, over here in the town of El Centro, as of January 18th this year, they turned off the seismograph here to the public January 19th. January 18th, we showed you, or we had at least 9 3.0 earthquakes here in the town of El Centro. 9 3.0 earthquakes every day here in the town of El Centro. One of our own EMA family members lives here. His name's Juanito. Juanito and his family live here. He also reported to us about 3 weeks ago when he was last here that they were still experiencing small 3.0 earthquakes here every day, multiple times a day. Yet USGS never shows those earthquakes. Never, ever shows those earthquakes. Now, 2 months ago, we had a large 5.0 earthquake here in the Imperial Valley right there. Large 5.0 earthquake right here. We had tremors 1.0, 1.9. We had minor earthquakes 2.0, 2.9. We had 3.0, 3.9 small earthquakes. We had 4.0, 4.8 earthquakes here, moderate earthquakes here in the Imperial Valley. USGS showed some of those aftershocks, some of them. After 2 days, they quit showing them at all. Earthquakes has not stopped hitting here. Earthquake activity has not stopped hitting here. Just because USGS doesn't show it doesn't mean it's stopped. Does not mean it's stopped. Now, as I've told you before, it's very interesting. Just a few minutes ago, we had over 20 people watch this program. Now it's showing 18 people watching. It's insane. Totally insane. See where the San Andreas Fault is right here? Running along the mountainside here, right there. Between here and down here at the US-Mexican border down here. The San Andreas Fault runs down here. But between eastern Los Angeles up here, all the way down here to the Mexican border, we are going to have a 6.5 to 7.5 earthquake here on the San Andreas Fault. On the San Andreas Fault. A major devastating earthquake. That earthquake could be up to and including an 8.0 earthquake. Geologists and seismologists are saying that could be an 8.0 earthquake here on the San Andreas. On the San Andreas. Those earthquakes here in the mountains east of the San Andreas, right here, Indio, California. This happens to be a 0.7 microquake. What happened here several months ago? What happened here several months ago? We also had one 5.1 earthquake here. Aftershocks are still happening here. This is an aftershock of that 5.1 earthquake that happened out here in Indio, California. This is a 0.7 microquake here. An aftershock of that 5.1. Further to the south here, also 14 kilometers east-northeast of Indio, California. Another 0.9, 1.0 tremor. 1.0 tremor here. Where's it at? It is just east of the San Andreas. Just east of the San Andreas here. Yes, guys, it can happen here. It can happen, will happen here. Okay? USGS is still not showing us anything going on here. Why not? Why not? Let's show you what they're showing us here. This is USGS map, however. Okay? Up here in the north. Little Creek, California. Little Creek, California. This is just north of Ontario, California, in the San Bernardino County mountains here. 1.3 tremor here. Let's go southeast of Riverside now. Southeast of Riverside. Loma Linda, California. This is a 1.0 tremor. Now, guys, one of the seismographs that was turned off was over at Mira Loma, which is just south of Loma Linda. Here in Mira Loma, Loma Linda, we always had tremors here. Always had tremors here. We also had minor earthquakes. We also got 3.0 earthquakes here right before they turned the seismograph off. Loma Linda, California. Today they're showing a 1.0 tremor here. Fact. Fact. Right here down to the south. Here we're talking about the San Jacinto Fault. The San Jacinto Fault here. This is on the San Jacinto Fault, Banning, California. 1.0 tremor. Just like Loma Linda is here. 1.0 tremor here. Okay? What else is here? This is 1.0. This is a 0.9 1.0 tremor here as well. Also further south on the San Jacinto, it's 0.6 microquake. Interesting, huh? It really is. Now, before we go any further south here, west of the San Jacinto here, Winchester, California. Winchester, California is in Orange County, California. We're having a 0.8 microquake here in Winchester, California. Gosh, golly gee, guys. What's wrong with this picture? Over here in Marietta, there's a seismograph here. Guys, if USGS had left this alone, Caltech and USGS run the seismographs here in Southern California. They run the seismograph here in Southern California and they turn them off to the public so we can no longer see what's going on here. They had a seismograph here in Marietta. It would show us tremors and minor earthquakes here. They're not showing anything here except at Winchester, California. Interesting enough. Further north here, along this mountain range here, that cuts off Los Angeles and the coastline from Orange County here. Lake Elsinore. They also had a seismograph here in Lake Elsinore. It showed us tremors, minor earthquakes happening here. This is another seismograph that they turned off. Turned off. Yes, we have tremors here along the San Jacinto. Now, guys, because the San Andreas is over here, and yes, it's closer to the San Jacinto here, the San Andreas going off with a 6.5, 7.0, 7.5, or 8.0 earthquake, some of that energy will be focused in here on the San Jacinto as well. Meaning, the communities that I'm showing you here will be affected when that San Andreas fault hits. These communities will be affected when that San Andreas fault hits. And yes, it's going to hit within the next, I don't think it's going to be much more than 6 months. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Let's go right here. This was a red earthquake. Red earthquake just happened. This is the 1.0 tremor that just happened here in the Anza-Borrego Desert State Park. Anza-Borrego Desert State Park, northeast San Diego County. San Diego County now. Right here, 1.1 tremor also. Anza-Borrego Desert State Park here. Interesting. Interesting. Right here. Fallbrook, California. Fallbrook, California, also part of the Anza-Brigham desert area. Fallbrook, a 0.8 microquake here in Fallbrook. I have friends living in Fallbrook, California right now. Right here, just miles northeast of Lake Can, just miles northeast of Escondido, California. This is a 0.8 microquake, just miles, literally, from Escondido, California. You can see Escondido right here. This is over here, just east. Actually, it's not. It's over here by Lake Henshaw, northeast of Lake Henshaw. There's Lake Henshaw there. Lake Henshaw is just northeast of Escondido. I used to fish in this lake. I used to fish in Lake Henshaw. Lake Henshaw is having earthquakes here. This northeast of Lake Henshaw, it's a 0.8 microquake here. Microquakes and tremors happen all over Lake Henshaw here. Every day. Every day. And yes, we have had earthquakes here in Escondido, California as well. I want to make that point clear. We've had earthquakes here in Escondido, California as of late. Okay? Further south here. Right here. Julian, California. Julian, California. On the San Jacinto Fault. A 1.0 tremor here. 1.0 tremor here. Now right here, also the Anza Gap. Up further north here, the San Jacinto Fault separates here. It's got a westerly section, it's got a northeasterly section right here. Both sections of the San Jacinto Fault are active. And when the San Andreas Fault goes, the San Andreas Faults will also go at the same time. At the same time. Ancillary faults all over Los Angeles will also be affected. Ancillary faults all over Los Angeles are also going to be affected. Over here in Los Angeles, every day, they have 400 to 450 earthquakes here a day in Los Angeles. 400 earthquakes a day here in Los Angeles. They don't show that many here. They never do. They never show that many here in Los Angeles at all. Offshore here. Offshore south of Malibu State Park. This is a 2.2 minor earthquake here. At sea here in the Pacific Ocean off the coast of Malibu, California. 2.2 minor earthquake. Guys, there are earthquakes all over this region. Literally. All over this region. Right here. Avalon. Avalon, guys. There are earthquakes here. USGS and Caltech have a seismograph here. But they've also deactivated for all of us, so we can't see it. That seismograph is located right here in the town called Aveyah. Earthquakes are happening here as well. Okay, all over here. All over here, guys. Any questions? Any questions? Real quick before we end this program here, right here, the Southern Cascades Subduction Zone region. The Southern Cascades Subduction Zone region Over here, San Andreas Fault, 3.4 earthquake here. Also on the San Andreas Fault, 1.8 tremor, 2.1 minor earthquake. The San Andreas Fault is going to go south from here, all the way through California, all the way through northern Mexico, going down the coastline of southern Mexico as well. When the Cascade earthquake goes, when the Cascade earthquake happens, the seismic energy is going to be founded right here, off the coast of Vancouver Island, Seattle, Tacoma area here in Washington. It's going to be echoed down the San Andreas Fault here, or not San Andreas, the Cascade earthquake fault here, or the Juan de Fuca Fault. Either way, the seismic energy is going to be echoed down the entire fault area here. Then it's going to come down here to the San Andreas. It's going to come down here to the northern San Andreas Fault here. Why? Because, guys, the Cascade earthquake fault comes down here to what they call the triple junction. The triple junction with the Gorda Escarpment and the San Andreas Fault. On December 23rd, 2019, Chris Goldfinger, who was a professor of geology in Oregon State University, who's now an emeritus professor, said at a geologist seismologist convention in San Francisco, December 23rd, 2019, said that the Cascade earthquake could trigger the San Andreas. Then that energy is going to go south here along the coastline of Northern California. It's going to come down here to the Bay Area. By this time, that energy was 9.0 over in Washington. By this time, that energy will be downgraded to an 8.0 here in San Francisco Bay Area. And all the other ancillary faults all over the Bay Area will also be activated, and this area will be virtually destroyed. This whole area of San Francisco will be virtually destroyed. Going south from there, the San Andreas Fault continues south over to San Jose, Monterey Bay, going further south here, all the way down the coastline here. Right here, Fairfield, California, earthquake capital of the world, earthquake capital of California, Fairfield, California. By the time the energy reaches here, this energy will probably be a 7.5 earthquake, a 7.5 earthquake, Fairfield, California. By the time it reaches down here to Los Angeles, the energy will probably be still 7.0, 7.5 earthquake here in Los Angeles. And all the other ancillary faults here are also going to be activated here. Los Angeles will also be destroyed by that earthquake. At the same time, that energy is going to come down here east of Los Angeles into the Imperial Valley here. East of the Salton Sea here. This whole area of the Imperial Valley will also be destroyed, as well as parts of Mexico as well. A fact. Now, let's go back here to 2010. April 3rd, 2010, right here. Okay? US-Mexican border. April 3rd, 2010. Just south of the border. Just barely south of the border here, guys. What happened? Right down here in northern Mexico. in an area that's called Guadalupe, Victoria, Mexico, the province of northern Mexico. We had a 7.1 earthquake here. 7.1 earthquake centered over here at Guadalupe, Victoria, Mexico. This is just east of Mexicali, just southeast of Calexico on the US side. Both of these towns here suffered very, very dangerous damage. Very dangerous, overwhelming damage here. All of the Imperial Valley here suffered earthquake damage. All of the Imperial Valley here suffered earthquake damage. Almost catastrophic damage. Going over here to San Diego City. April 3rd, 2010. I was right here. I was right here. Downtown San Diego County. Downtown San Diego City. Right here. Right here is the San Diego Emergency Operations Center. We were here for an earthquake drill. Earthquake drill was supposed to start on Monday. On Sunday we started because the earthquake hit on Sunday morning. Hit Sunday morning about 7:10 a.m. Here in San Diego City, even though San Diego City was some 200 miles from where the earthquake hit, we had high rises here in San Diego City, 20 stories high. Glass panels fell out of the high rises and shattered on the streets of downtown San Diego. We had a great lot of damage here in San Diego City. Literally all over San Diego County. Literally all over San Diego County. That earthquake was felt all the way up here into Los Angeles County. All the way up here in Los Angeles County. 7.1 earthquake, guys. 7.1 earthquake. Now, why am I mentioning it now? Because, guys, we are about to see a 7.0 earthquake here, 6.5, 7.5 earthquake here on the San Andreas Fault, southeast of Los Angeles, right here. It's going to happen right here. All the ancillary faults around Los Angeles are going to get hit. All the other ancillary earthquake faults in Los Angeles are also going to get hit. All the other ancillary faults going down here in San Diego County are also going to get hit. Fact. Fact. Is the Imperial County also going to suffer? Yes, it is. Energy will be transmitted down the San Andreas Fault here into Imperial County. Everybody's going to feel this earthquake. Everybody. All over Southern California. Are any of you ready? We have EMA families living here in Southern California. I can guarantee it. I've spoken to many of them. Are any of you ready when this earthquake hits? It's going to hit. Karen Cotton picking teeth, it's going to hit. Are any of you ready? I hope the heck you are. Because what it doesn't destroy, it will upend everybody's life here. Everyone's life is going to be upended. Guaranteed. Be prepared is not just a Boy Scout slogan. It's a lifestyle. It is an absolute lifestyle here, guys. Be prepared for anything happens. The Lord wants us to be prepared. He talks about being prepared all throughout the scriptures, including down in Isaiah. The prophet Isaiah saw our day. The apostles also saw our day. Be prepared, guys. Be prepared. Guys, it's Thursday evening. It's now just past 6:36. I'm going to get out of here. I've talked about Venezuela, major earthquake there. I'm going to continue talking about it going into the future here for a while. Nothing's going away. The death toll today earlier was 164 people. It's now a lot more than that. Thousands of people have been injured. That number is also going to go up. We are going to continue to see earthquakes all over the world. Be prepared, guys. It could happen to you. May God bless you. May God be with you to this day and always. God be with you until we meet again. If anything else happens tonight, we'll be back on there to tell you about it as soon as the information becomes available. Have a good night, guys. God bless you. God be with you. Have a good one, guys. Take care. Take care of each other. See you on the other side. Good night. Much love.
Here at Emergency Management Associates, we're dedicated and true, bringing you the essential knowledge, helping you see things through. From disaster preparedness to navigating recovery's embrace, we're here to guide you in every unpredictable time and place. We break down the complex, make it easy to grasp and absorb, sharing strategies for safety, the vital lessons you can't afford to hoard, So thank you for watching, and thank you so much for your sub. You're a key part of our growing family, a member of our knowledge club. With every like, every share, and every comment you send our way, our critical message spreads further, helping more people every single day. Together we're stronger and more prepared. That's the truth we all abide. You help us build resilience with nowhere for uncertainty to hide. Your engagement truly inspires us. Your feedback acts as a guiding light, helping us continually grow and making our channel's future bright. We're always learning, always striving to be better. Bring you the most up-to-date information, no matter the weather. Emergency Management Associates is here for you now and forever, it's true. Keep watching, keep learning, because we truly appreciate all that you do. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.